The warning bells rang across the Galactic Council's main control room. Red lights flashed on every screen as Officer Tom rushed to his station. His forearms moved quickly over the control panel, trying to understand what the sensors had found. "What is it?" asked Commander Blue, his blue skin turning darker with worry. He was a Kelton, one of the oldest species in the galaxy. In his 300 years of life, he had never seen the warning systems act like this. Tom's eyes grew wide as he read the data. "Sir, we have found something strange in the outer rim. Something very big." "How big?" Blue asked, walking over to look at the screen. 2 kilometers long, sir, but that's not the strange part." Tom's voice shook a little. "The shape, it looks like a person." Blue stared at the screen. The image showed a dark shape against the stars. It had 2 arms, 2 legs, and what looked like a head. But this was not a person. This was a ship, a massive ship built to look like a humanoid. "Send this to all fleet commanders," Blue ordered, "and call an emergency meeting of the Council. Within hours, ships from 12 different species received the alert." The news spread fast through the galaxy's communication networks. A humanoid ship, bigger than most space stations, was moving through their territory. No one knew who built it or what it wanted. Admiral Vex sat in his command chair aboard the battleship Starfire. He was a Zortan, tall and thin with gray skin and large black eyes. He had fought in many wars and had seen many strange things in space, but this was different. "Show me the scans again," he told his crew. The main screen displayed the humanoid ship. It moved slowly through space, its arms slightly bent, its head turning left and right as if it was looking for something. The sight made even the bravest soldiers feel afraid. "The hull is made of unknown metal," reported Science Officer Kate. She was human-like, but with green skin and 3 eyes. "Our sensors cannot see inside it. Whatever this metal is, it blocks all our scanning attempts." "Weapons?" Vex asked. "We think so, sir. Energy readings suggest very powerful weapons built into the arms and chest area. The power levels are higher than anything we have ever seen." Vex nodded slowly. In his 60 years as a military officer, he had learned to trust his feelings. And right now his feelings told him this ship was dangerous, very dangerous. The Galactic Council met in the Great Hall on Station Prime. Representatives from dozens of species filled the circular room. The air was thick with tension as they all looked at the large screen showing the humanoid ship. Council. Leader Zara stood at the center. She was a Novan with silver skin that glowed softly in the light. Her people were known for being calm and wise, but even she looked worried. "Fellow beings," she began, "we face something we have never seen before. This ship appears to be designed like a humanoid form. We do not know who built it or why." A representative from the Crix species raised his hand. The Crix looked like giant insects with hard shells and multiple eyes. "Has anyone tried to talk to it?" "Yes," Zara replied. "We have sent messages on all known frequencies. There has been no response." "Maybe it cannot understand us," suggested a Felton representative. "The Feltons looked like large cats that walked on 2 legs. "Or maybe it does not want to talk," said General Rex, a military advisor. He was a Corvan, with thick, gray skin and small horns on his head. "Look at its design. This is not a ship built for peace, this is a weapon." The room filled with worried voices. Different species spoke in their own languages, creating a buzz of fear and concern. "Order!" Zara called out. "We must think clearly about this." Dr. Lisa, the Council's chief scientist, stood up. She was one of the few pure humans in the Council, small compared to most other species, but respected for her knowledge. "The ship's behavior is strange," she said. "It moves like it is alive. The way it turns its head, the way it moves its arms. This is not normal for any ship we know." "What are you saying?" asked Admiral Vex, who had joined the meeting by video. Link from his ship. "I am saying this might not be just a ship, it might be something else. Something we do not understand." The room went quiet. The idea that the humanoid shape might be more than just design was frightening to everyone. "It is heading toward the inner colonies," reported Intelligence Chief Mark. He was a Tellan with blue fur and large ears that could hear sounds from great distances. If it continues on this path, it will reach populated systems in 10 days. We cannot let that happen, General Rex said firmly. We must stop it before it reaches our people. But we do not know if it is hostile, Dr. Lisa argued. Look at it. Rex pointed at the screen. It is a weapon with arms and legs. What more proof do you need? Zara raised her hand for silence. We will vote. All in favor of classifying this ship as a weapon of mass destruction? One by one, hands, claws, tentacles, and other appendages rose around the room. The vote was almost unanimous. Only Dr. Lisa and 2 others voted against it. The motion passes, Zara announced. This humanoid ship is now classified as a weapon of mass destruction and a threat to galactic security. Admiral Vex felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. What are your orders, Council Leader? Assemble a task force. Ships from all member species. Find this thing and stop it before it can harm our citizens. And if it will not surrender? Vex asked. Zara's silver skin seemed to lose some of its glow. Then you must destroy it. As the meeting ended, representatives returned to their ships and stations to spread the news. Across the galaxy, military fleets prepared for what might be the strangest battle they had ever fought. They were going to war against a ship that looked like a giant person. But none of them knew the truth. The humanoid ship was not a weapon at all. It was something much different, and much more human than any of them could imagine. Strike Commander Rex stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Thunderstrike. Around him, 60 ships from 7 different species moved in perfect formation. This was the largest task force ever assembled by the Galactic Council. Their mission was simple but dangerous. Find and stop the humanoid ship before it could reach the populated worlds. All ships report ready, Commander, said his second-in-command, Lieutenant Dan. Dan was a Corvan like Rex, but younger and less experienced in battle. Rex nodded as he looked at the tactical display. Red dots showed the positions of all the ships in his fleet. Battleships, destroyers, fighters, and scout ships, all working together for one purpose. The target was last seen in the Gamma sector, Rex announced over the communication system. All ships will spread out and create a search grid. When we find this thing, no one attacks without my direct order. Sir, called out Navigator Pete from his station. Why are we being so careful? If this is really a weapon, should we not destroy it as soon as we see it? Rex turned to face the young officer. Because, Pete, we still do not know what we are dealing with. This ship might have weapons we have never seen before. We need to study it first, then decide how to stop it. The fleet divided into 3 groups, each covering a different star system. Rex led the main group toward the center, where the humanoid ship was most likely to appear. As they traveled through hyperspace, he thought about the strange reports they had received. The ship moved like a living thing. It changed direction without warning. Sometimes it stopped completely, as if it was listening or looking for something. But looking for what? Captain Miles commanded the destroyer Swift Wind in the second group. His ship was fast and quiet, perfect for scouting missions. Miles was a Felton, and his cat-like senses were sharper than most other species. Contact, his sensor operator suddenly shouted. Large ship detected, bearing 270. Miles jumped to his feet. Show me. The main screen lit up with the image that had terrified the entire galaxy. The humanoid ship hung in space, like a giant metal pursuit. Its arms were slightly bent and its head seemed to be turning slowly from side to side. By the stars, whispered his weapons officer. It is really shaped like a person. Send word to Commander Rex immediately, Miles ordered. And keep our distance. We do not want to make it angry. The message reached Rex within minutes. All ships converge on Captain Miles's position. Maintain safe distance. That means at least 50 kilometers away from the target. As the fleet gathered, more and more crew members got their first look at the humanoid ship. Many had not believed the reports, but seeing it with their own eyes made it real and terrifying. It is huge, said Lieutenant Dan, staring at the screen. How did anyone build something that big? And why make it look like a person? Added Communications Officer Sarah. She was a Tellan with sensitive hearing, and she was trying to pick up any sounds from the strange ship. Rex studied the target through his binoculars. The ship's hull was dark gray, almost black. Strange markings covered its surface, but they were not like any writing he knew. The head section had what looked like eyes, probably sensor arrays, and they seemed to be looking directly at his fleet. "Sir," Sarah called out, "I am detecting something strange." "What kind of strange?" "The ship is sending out very weak signals. Not like messages, but more like scanning beams. It is studying us just like we are studying it." This news made Rex uncomfortable. "Can you tell what kind of scans?" "No, sir. The technology is completely unknown to us." Dr. Amy, the fleet science officer, worked at her station trying to understand what they were seeing. She was a Novan-like council leader, Zara, and her people were known for their analytical minds. "Commander," she said, "I have been watching the ship's movements. It is not random." "What do you mean?" "Every time it changes position, it moves away from shipping lanes and trade routes. It seems to be avoiding areas where it might encounter civilian ships." Rex frowned. "Are you saying it does not want to hurt innocent people?" "That is what the data suggests, sir." Before Rex could respond, alarms started ringing throughout the fleet. "Multiple contacts," shouted the sensor operator. "3 more humanoid ships approaching from different directions." The tactical display showed 4 red dots now, each representing a massive humanoid ship. They were moving in a pattern that looked almost like they were surrounding Rex's fleet. "All ships, battle stations," Rex commanded, "but hold fire unless they attack first." The 4 humanoid ships moved closer. Their movements were smooth and coordinated, like dancers performing together. As they approached, the fleet's communications system suddenly came alive with strange signals. "Sir," Sarah reported, "they are trying to talk to us, but I cannot understand the language." "Put it on speaker." A series of sounds filled the bridge. They were not random noises, but clearly some kind of language. The sounds were deep and rhythmic, almost musical. "Computer, analyze the signals," Rex ordered. "Analysis complete," the ship's computer replied in its mechanical voice. "The signals contain mathematical patterns. They appear to be attempting to establish basic communication." Dr. Amy looked up from her station. "Commander, I think they are trying to show us they mean no harm. These signals, they are not weapons frequencies, they are trying to talk. Then why do they not use standard galactic languages? Maybe they do not know them yet." Rex felt confused. Nothing about this situation made sense. These ships looked like weapons, but they acted like they wanted to talk. They were huge and powerful, but they seemed to avoid hurting anyone. "Sir," Lieutenant Dan said quietly, "what if we have made a mistake?" "What kind of mistake? What if these are not weapons at all?" Before Rex could answer, one of the humanoid ships began moving toward his fleet. But it did not move like it was attacking. Instead, it moved slowly and carefully, like someone trying not to scare a frightened animal. "All ships hold position," Rex ordered. "Let us see what it does." The humanoid ship stopped exactly 50 kilometers away, the same distance Rex had, ordered his own ships to maintain. Then it did something that surprised everyone. It raised one of its massive arms and waved. It was greeting them. "Commander," Dr. Amy said in amazement, "I do not think these are weapons. I think these are people." Rex stared at the screen. The implications of what she said were enormous. If these were not weapons, then the Galactic Council had declared war on an innocent species, a species that was trying to be friendly. "Get me a direct line to Council Leader Zara," he said. "We need to talk." But as he waited for the connection, Rex wondered if it was already too late. How do you apologize to someone when you have already pointed 60 warships at them? The hunt had begun, but Rex was starting to realize they might be hunting the wrong target. Captain Jack stood in the neural command center of the rescue ship Guardian. Around him, soft blue lights pulsed in rhythm with the ship's massive heart-like engine. The Guardian was not just a ship. It was humanity's greatest achievement, a living machine that could think and feel alongside its human crew. Jack placed his hand on the warm metal surface of the command interface. Immediately, his mind connected with the ship's artificial intelligence. a system they called Anna. Through this connection, he could see and feel everything the ship experienced. Anna, show me the search pattern for Sector 7, Jack said, softly. Images flooded his mind. The vast emptiness of space, scattered debris from destroyed ships, and the faint energy signatures that might lead them to survivors. For 4 months now, the Guardian and 3 other human rescue ships had been searching for the colony ship New Dawn. The New Dawn had left Earth 2 years ago with 15,000 colonists, hoping to build humanity's first home in this part of the galaxy. But something had gone wrong. Their last message spoke of system failures and a desperate attempt to land on an unknown planet. Jack, Anna's voice spoke directly into his mind. The alien ships are still following us. They maintain distance but watch our every move. Jack sighed. The alien fleets had been tracking them for days. Every attempt at communication had failed. The aliens seemed to think the human ships were some kind of threat. Keep trying to talk to them, Anna. Use mathematics, music, anything that might work. I have tried 17 different communication methods, Anna replied. They receive our signals but do not respond properly. I believe they think we are weapons. This made Jack sad and frustrated. Humanity had finally reached the stars, only to be misunderstood by the first aliens they met. The rescue ships were designed to look humanoid because humans worked better with familiar shapes. But to the aliens, this design probably looked scary. In the medical bay, Dr. Lisa checked the emergency treatment pods for the 100th time. She was the chief medical officer, ready to help any survivors they might find. The Guardian could treat up to 5,000 injured people at once, using the most advanced medical technology humanity had ever created. Still no word from the search teams? She asked Nurse Mike, who was organizing medical supplies. Nothing yet, Mike replied. But Captain Jack thinks we are getting close. The debris trail is getting stronger. Dr. Lisa nodded and continued her work. She had volunteered for this mission because she believed in helping people. When the distress signal from New Dawn reached Earth, thousands of people had volunteered to join the rescue mission. They knew it would be dangerous, but they could not leave fellow humans stranded in space. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Dave monitored the ship's biomechanical systems. The Guardian was partly alive with organic components that could heal themselves if damaged. This made the ship incredibly tough and able to survive in dangerous conditions. How are the other ships doing? Dave asked his assistant, Engineer Lisa. Defender, Protector, and Savior are all running perfectly, Lisa replied. Their crews report. The same problems we have, the aliens think we are attacking them. Dave shook his head. If they only knew we were here to save lives, not take them. On the bridge, Communications Officer Paul worked desperately to establish contact with the alien fleets. He had spent years learning about different species and their languages, but these aliens used completely different communication methods. Captain, Paul called out, I am picking up increased chatter from the alien ships. Something has changed. Jack disconnected from Anna's neural link and walked to Paul's station. What kind of change? They seem excited about something. And sir, I am detecting more alien ships approaching from 3 different directions. This was bad news. If more alien ships arrived, the situation could become very dangerous very quickly. Jack made a difficult decision. Anna, prepare to send a general distress signal on all frequencies. Make it clear we are on a rescue mission. Jack, Anna's voice sounded worried. If we reveal our true purpose, we might also reveal the location of any New Dawn survivors. The aliens might reach them first. It was a terrible choice. Risk the survivors' safety to prevent a war, or stay silent and hope the aliens did not attack. Before Jack could decide, Sensor Officer Tim called out from his station. Captain, we have found something. Large debris field, bearing 180. The metal composition matches New Dawn's hull. Jack's heart raced. After months of searching, they had finally found evidence of the lost colony ship. Anna, scan for life signs. The ship's powerful sensors reached out into space, searching through the wreckage for any sign that people had survived. Minutes passed, like hours as everyone waited for results. I am detecting faint energy signatures, Anna reported. They could be emergency shelters or escape pods. Very weak, but definitely artificial. How many? Unknown. The signals are too weak to count accurately. But Jack, some of them are definitely human technology. The bridge crew cheered quietly. After all this time, there might actually be survivors, waiting for rescue. But their celebration was cut short when alarms started ringing throughout the ship. Multiple alien vessels approaching fast, Tim announced. They are not maintaining safe distance anymore. Jack looked at the tactical display. Dozens of alien ships were converging on their position. Some looked like warships, others like smaller fighters. They were clearly preparing for battle. Captain, Paul said urgently, I am receiving a transmission from the aliens. It sounds like an ultimatum. Can you understand it? Only parts of it. But I think they are telling us to surrender or be destroyed. Jack felt the weight of impossible choices pressing down on him. If they fought the aliens, people would die, on both sides. If they surrendered, the New Dawn survivors might never be rescued. If they ran away, they would be abandoning their mission and their fellow humans. Anna, how long do we need to reach the debris field and search for survivors? At least 6 hours to do a thorough search and rescue operation. And how long before the alien ships reach us? 30 minutes. Jack closed his eyes and thought about the 15,000 people who had left Earth with hope in their hearts. He thought about the families waiting for news back home. He thought about what it meant to be human, to risk everything to save others. Send a message to the other ships, he said finally. Tell them we are not leaving without our people. If the aliens want to fight, we will give them one, but we are not abandoning the survivors. The rescue mission had become something else entirely. Humanity's first contact with alien life was about to become humanity's first war among the stars. Dr. Maya worked alone in her laboratory aboard the science vessel Starseeker. She had been studying the humanoid ships for 3 days now, and what she found made her question everything the Galactic Council believed about these strange vessels. Maya was a Kelton like Commander Blue from the Council's control room. Her people were known for their patience and careful thinking. While the military ships kept their distance and prepared for battle, Maya watched and learned. Computer, show me the movement patterns again, she said. The holographic display showed the paths the 4 humanoid ships had taken over the past week. Red lines traced their routes through space, and Maya studied each turn and change of direction. Look at this, she whispered to herself. Every time a humanoid ship approached a trade route or a civilian area, it changed course, every single time. These ships were not looking for targets to attack. They were avoiding innocent people. Dr. Ew, Maya, came a voice over the communication system. It was her assistant, Dr. Ben, calling from the bridge. Ben was human, one of the few in the fleet, and he helped Maya understand how different species might think. What is it, Ben? The humanoid. Ships are doing something new. You need to see this. Maya rushed to the bridge. On the main screen, she could see all 4 humanoid ships moving in a strange pattern. They were not moving toward the military fleet or away from it. Instead, they seemed to be searching for something. Watch their head sections. Ben pointed at the screen. See how they turn and scan? They are looking for something specific. Maya nodded. But what are they looking for? I have been thinking about that, Ben said. What if they are not here to attack anyone? What if they are on a rescue mission? The idea hit Maya like lightning. Rescue mission. That would explain everything. Why they avoided civilian areas. Why they moved carefully. Why they tried to communicate instead of attacking. Ben, pull up all the reports of missing ships in this sector for the past year. Ben's fingers moved quickly over his control panel. Here, Dr. Maya, 12 civilian ships reported missing. Most of them were colony ships or exploration vessels. Show me their last known positions. The star map appeared on screen with red dots marking where ships had disappeared. Maya compared it to the routes the humanoid ships had taken. The match was almost perfect. They are searching for survivors, Maya said in amazement. These are not weapons, these are rescue ships. But before she could share her discovery, alarms rang throughout the fleet. Captain Cole of the destroyer Swift Judgment had made a terrible decision. Cole was a Zorton like Admiral Vex, but younger and more impatient. He had grown tired of watching and waiting. In his mind, the humanoid ships were clearly dangerous, and the fleet was wasting time by not attacking them. "All fighters, follow me," Cole commanded his squadron. "We are going to get a closer look at these things." "Sir," his weapons officer protested. "Commander Rex ordered us to maintain distance." "Rex is being too careful," Cole replied. "We need to know what we are fighting." Cole led 12 fighters in a fast attack run toward the nearest humanoid ship. They pushed deep into what they thought was the enemy's weapons range, expecting a fight. The humanoid ship's response was immediate, but not what anyone expected. Instead of firing weapons, it activated what looked like a protective shield around itself. Then it sent out a pulse of energy that gently disabled the fighters' engines. The fighters drifted in space, completely helpless, but unharmed. Cole tried to restart his engine, but nothing happened. The energy pulse had not damaged anything. It had simply turned off their power temporarily. "What kind of weapon is this?" Cole asked in confusion. "Sir," his engineer reported, "this is not a weapon. It is some kind of safety system. It stopped us without hurting us." Then something even more surprising happened. The humanoid ship moved closer to the disabled fighters. Its massive arms reached out carefully, and it began pushing the small ships back toward the main fleet. It was helping them get home safely. "This does not make sense," Cole muttered. "Why would an enemy ship rescue us?" Commander Rex watched this scene from his flagship and felt both angry and amazed. Angry because Cole had disobeyed orders, but amazed because the humanoid ship had shown mercy. "Get me Dr. Maya," Rex ordered. "I need to know what she thinks about this." When Maya appeared on his screen, her excitement was obvious. "Commander, I have made an important discovery. These ships are not weapons. They are rescue vessels." "How can you be sure?" "Look at their behavior. They avoid civilian areas. They disable attackers without hurting them, and they are searching along the same routes where ships have disappeared. Someone sent these ships to find survivors." Rex felt a cold fear in his stomach. "If you are right, then we have made a terrible mistake." "There is more, Commander. I have been analyzing their communication attempts. They are not threats or demands, they are distress calls." "Distress calls?" "Yes. They are asking for help, not threatening us. And I think I know why." Dr. Maya explained. Her theory to Rex and his officers. Somewhere in space, people were in danger. These humanoid ships were looking for them, but they needed help. They had tried to ask the Galactic Council for assistance, but instead of help, they had received threats and military fleets. "We need to contact Council Leader Zara immediately," Rex said. But as Rex tried to reach the Council, more bad news arrived. Intelligence reports showed that similar humanoid ships had appeared in 5 other sectors. The Galactic Council, believing they were under attack, had authorized the use of planet-killer weapons. "Sir," Lieutenant Dan reported with fear in his voice, 3 Council fleets are moving to attack the humanoid ships. They have orders to destroy them on sight." Rex realized they were running out of time. If the Council attacked these rescue ships, innocent people would die. Not just the crews of the humanoid ships, but also whoever they were trying to save. "Maya, how long do you need to establish proper communication with them?" "Give me 6 hours, and I think I can create a translation program." "You have 4 hours, Rex said. After that, this situation is going to get much worse." Maya rushed back to her laboratory while Rex tried desperately to contact the Council, but the communication systems were jammed with military traffic as 3 more fleets prepared for battle. Meanwhile, the 4 humanoid ships continued their search. They moved through debris fields and empty space, their sensors scanning for any sign of life. They did not know that they had been declared enemies. They only knew that somewhere people needed help, and time was running out for everyone. Dr. Maya's fingers moved frantically over her computer as the alien fleets closed in on the humanoid ships. She had been working for 18 hours straight, trying to crack the communication code. The mathematics were complex, but she was close to a breakthrough. "Come on," she whispered to herself. "There has to be a pattern." On her screen, Waves of data showed the signals the humanoid ships had been sending. They were not random. They followed mathematical sequences that any intelligent species should understand. Prime numbers, geometric progressions, even musical harmonies. Dr. Maya, Ben called from across the laboratory. The fleets are about to engage. Commander Rex is asking for anything you have. Maya's hands shook as she input the final calculations. Suddenly, her computer screen lit up with decoded text. "I have it," she shouted. "Ben, send this to Commander Rex immediately." The message was simple but shocking. "This is Captain Jack of Earth Rescue Ship Guardian. We are searching for survivors of colony ship New Dawn. 15,000 humans in danger. Please do not attack. We need help." Commander Rex stared at the translated message on his screen. Around him, his bridge crew waited in tense silence. The humanoid ships were not weapons. They were rescue vessels from a species called humans, searching for their own people. "All ships, hold fire," Rex commanded across all frequencies. "Repeat, all ships hold fire! These are rescue ships!" But it was too late for some. Captain Cole, still angry about his earlier encounter, had convinced 2 other ship captains to join him in a preemptive strike. "We cannot trust them," Cole argued over the radio. "This could be a trick." 3 destroyers broke formation and opened fire on the nearest humanoid ship, the Protector. Energy beams and missiles streaked across space toward the massive vessel. "Captain," Jack felt the attacks through Anna's sensors. The Protector was under fire, its shields taking heavy damage. "All ships defensive positions," Jack ordered the other human vessels. "Do not return fire. Repeat, do not return fire." The Protectors, Captain Maria, followed Jack's orders even as explosions rocked her ship. Instead of fighting back, she tried to move away from the attacking ships while her medical team prepared for casualties. But the Protector was too big and too slow. Another wave of missiles hit its hull, causing serious damage to the ship's biomechanical systems. "Maria, your ship is hurt badly," Anna reported to Jack. "She needs help." Jack made a decision that would change everything. "Anna, move us between the Protector and the attacking ships. Use our body to shield her." The Guardian moved with surprising grace for such a massive ship. Its humanoid arms spread wide as it positioned itself to protect the damaged Protector. Energy beams meant for Maria's ship struck the Guardian instead. Commander Rex watched in amazement as one humanoid ship deliberately took damage to protect another. This was not the behavior of weapons or conquerors. This was the behavior of people who cared about each other. "Cole, stop firing immediately," Rex ordered. "That is a direct command." "Sir, they are trying to trick us," Cole replied. But his voice was less certain now. Dr. Maya had been watching the battle through the fleet's sensors. She saw something that made her gasp with understanding. "Commander Rex," she called urgently. "Look at what the damaged ship is doing." On the main screen, they could see the Protector launching small pods toward the debris field where the missing colony ship had been found. Despite being under attack, the human ship was continuing its rescue mission. "They are not stopping to fight us," Rex realized. "Even while we attack them, they are still trying to save their people." The small rescue pods reached the debris field and began searching through the wreckage. One by one, they found emergency shelters where survivors had been waiting for months. Families, children, elderly people, all of them human colonists who had survived the destruction of their ship. Communications Officer Sarah suddenly picked up new signals. "Sir, I am receiving transmissions from the debris field. The survivors are thanking the rescue ships. They are calling them heroes." Rex felt sick to his stomach. His fleet had been attacking heroes who were trying to save innocent people. "All ships cease fire immediately," he commanded. "Anyone who continues to attack will face court-martial." Cole and his 2 ships finally stopped firing, but the damage was done. The Protector was badly hurt, and several human crew members had been injured. Captain Jack opened a communication channel to Rex's flagship. Dr. Maya's translation program allowed them to speak directly for the first time. "Commander," Jack's voice was calm but tired. "We do not want to fight you. We only want to save our people and go home." "Captain Jack," Rex replied, "I am deeply sorry for this mistake. We thought your ships were weapons coming to attack us. We understand your fear, Jack said. Our ships do look strange to you, but we built them this way because humans work better with familiar shapes. We never meant to frighten anyone. Dr. Maya stepped forward. Captain Jack, how many survivors did you find? 8,712 people, Jack answered. Men, women, and children who have been waiting in emergency shelters for 4 months. Without food, they would have died in 2 more days. The number hit Rex like a physical blow. If they had destroyed the human ships, nearly 9,000 innocent people would have died. What do you need from us? Rex asked. Medical supplies and food, Jack replied. Our ships can treat the injured, but we need more medicine, and we could use help transporting everyone safely. Rex looked around his bridge at his crew members. All of them looked ashamed of what they had almost done. You will have everything you need, Rex promised. All our medical ships are at your disposal. Over the next 6 hours, an amazing thing happened. Ships from 7 different alien species worked alongside the 4 human rescue vessels to save the survivors of the New Dawn. Language barriers melted away as everyone focused on helping people in need. Dr. Lisa worked side by side with alien doctors, sharing medical knowledge and techniques. Engineer Dave taught alien mechanics how to repair biomechanical systems. Captain Jack and Commander Rex planned the safest routes to get everyone home. When Council Leader Zara arrived with the main fleet, she found not a battle but a rescue operation. Aliens and humans working together, sharing food, medicine, and hope. This is not what I expected to find, Zara said as she watched human children playing with young aliens while their parents talked and laughed together. Neither did we, Rex admitted. But maybe this is better than what we expected. Captain Jack stood with his crew as the last survivors were safely loaded onto transport ships. The rescue mission was complete, but something more important had happened. Anna, he said to his ship's AI, I think we have made some friends. Yes, Jack, Anna replied. And I think the galaxy just became a much more interesting place. The humanoid ships that had once been feared as weapons of mass destruction were now honored as symbols of hope. Humanity had made its first contact with alien life not through conquest or trade, but through compassion. And in the years that followed, when people told the story of how humans joined the galactic community, they always remembered that it began with 4 strange ships and the simple desire to save lives.